Dean Evans, distinguished alumni, honorable guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the virtual honoring of HKU Science Distinguished Alumni 2019, the conclusion of our Oak anniversary. I'm Michael Pittman, Assistant Dean for e-learning from the Faculty of Science. The wait has been long and our reunion is finally here. We're glad you're all here today for this momentous occasion. To begin with, may I invite Professor Matthew Evans, Dean of Science, to deliver a welcome address. Professor Evans, please.
Distinguished alumni, honorable guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad that we can gather here in the virtual realm to celebrate the achievements of our Distinguished Alumni 2019 online today. And so here we are, finally, after a long wait of more than 10 months, and having been forced to postpone the award ceremony twice due to the unprecedented fallout of coronavirus pandemic and social protests in the past year. Challenges do not always diminish us. They are also opportunities to learn and to grow. It has been said, that which does not defeat us makes us stronger. That phrase feels very true today. 80 years ago, the founders of the faculty laid solid foundations. And up to today, HKU Science has nurtured over 24,000 graduates. And using the analogy of an oak tree, our alumni are now extending out from the trunk of the sturdy tree like countless branches stretching out towards the high sky. Every one of them shares the same root and yet creates their own unique silhouette against the sky. There is no absolute definition of success. HKU Science alumni contribute to society and humankind by many different means and in many different arenas. In light of this, the Oak anniversary was an opportune time for us to feature the exceptional accomplishments of our prominent alumni in their chosen fields of endeavor. The Distinguished Alumni Award 2019 was launched in 4 categories, addressing our alumni's distinguished achievements in scientific research and education, their professional career fields, services and contributions to HKU Science and the university, as well as community services and contributions to society and to the world. There are 6 alumni being recognized for their notable achievements in science education or scientific research. Scientists do not engage in science to be rich or influential. They engage in science because of an inherent curiosity about how something happens, how the world works. The application of the scientific method to improve our understanding of the world has been one of humankind's greatest achievements, without which it seems to me we would be immeasurably poorer. We would like to pay tribute to the awardees for their efforts in scientific research, as well as their devotion in science education, by which they inspire the next generation by their knowledge and experience. It is obvious that not everyone learning science will be doing science after their graduation. As such, scientific research is not the only path for HKU Science graduates. And learning science is not merely about scientific knowledge. It is more than that. It is about acquiring a scientific mind and way of thinking. It trains you and shapes who you are, influencing your future path. 7 alumni are awarded for their exceptional achievements in their professional fields, demonstrating the all-round nature of science education and training. We look up to those of you who have applied your scientific training to other fields. In the past 8 decades, we have grown through good times and bad, bit by bit, year after year, from a budding stem to a sturdy tree, providing buckets of plentiful acorns. We have now become a mighty oak, thriving in the soil of research and teaching. 2 distinguished alumni are awarded for contributing to the faculty's development and growth. Also, the networking and reconnecting of HKU Science alumni in the United States of America. Their enthusiasm and hard work to build up the faculty to where it stands today is very worthy of recognition. We also have 3 distinguished alumni being awarded for their impressive services and contribution to society. They have committed to serve Hong Kong community with their expertise and experience, putting the well-being and benefits of citizens here as their first priority. Their willingness to serve will definitely inspire more people to do likewise and explore different possibilities to make our society a better place to live. Society needs people who devote their energies to improving the lot of their fellow people. While saluting our eminent awardees, we also hope the young generation will be inspired by the successful stories and enlightening experiences of these role models. Their strong leadership, devotion to respected professions, and enthusiasm to serve. Hopefully, we can continue to grow the number of our rising stars and young global leaders in the next decade. And an anniversary is not just a time to celebrate accomplishments, to review the milestones that we have passed, but also to envisage the future, for we remain highly ambitious and we set our gaze far to look through the next 80 years. But the future is not far away. It starts right here and now. We need the strongest support from our alumni and friends to excel in scientific research and teaching, and to nurture the next batch of young leaders. We need to sow generously in order to reap generously. Our faith in science creates impacts has never been shaken in the past 80 years. That is also why we have never stopped devoting ourselves to teaching and research, outreach and knowledge exchange, thinking of innovative ways to enhance the outcomes for our staff and students, regardless of how much adversity we are presented with by the societal environment. In hindsight, the faculty was founded in 1939, with the outbreak of the Second World War just around the corner and the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong taking place just 2 years later and lasting until 1945. Our first graduate was Sing Song Huang in 1941, and there were wartime degrees given to 2 students, Young Tai Lam and Rayson Huang. It is worth noting that of our first 3 graduates, 1 was a woman, which anticipates the issues of gender equality in science by several decades. Of course, Rayson Huang went on to become Vice Chancellor 30 or so years later. The fact that the infant faculty survived this period is a testament to its early resilience to stress and difficulties. And it and the university has survived and will continue to survive and thrive through whatever stresses and difficulties come its way. I have the honor of being in my 5th year as HKU's Dean of Science, and I am merely the latest custodian of this office. All of us deans are temporary in our roles. HKU Science is much more about its students, staff, and alumni than it is about the occupant of the Dean's office. I have met and been impressed by many excellent current and past members of this faculty. I have no doubt that the faculty will go on to become stronger and more influential in its next 80 years. Finally, I want to thank you all for being part of HKU Science and for your solid and substantial support to us. I believe the Oak Anniversary not only celebrates our 80th birthday, it also symbolizes our vision of growing a lush oak forest for all we get together and devote ourselves in respective fields and shape this society. With your help, I look forward to further successes and achievements in the next 8 decades to come. So thank you all very much, and I wish you all a very, very nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Evans. We, the Faculty of Science, are not complacent. I'm sure our science family will continue to strive for excellence and scale new heights. Now comes the presentation of our Distinguished Alumni 2019. Through its 80 years, HKU Science has nurtured generations of alumni who devote their time and effort for the betterment of society. We believe the Oak Anniversary is an opportune time for us to reconnect with our alumni and recognize their achievements. Indeed, alumni are valuable assets of the faculty, Not only does their unwavering support contribute to the faculty, their diversified profile also reflects the quality and versatility of the faculty's education. To recognize the exceptional accomplishments of our alumni in a variety of fields, the faculty is pleased to honor distinguished alumni on this occasion. Without further ado, may I present to you the awardees of our Distinguished Alumni 2019. Let's invite the first group of recipients who have a record of professional achievements in their own fields of interest to accept the honor. The awardees of each group will be honored in alphabetical order. First, we have Dr. Anissa Lai Kun Chan Wong, 1980 BSc graduate. Dr. Chan Wong is the former principal of St. Paul's Coeducational College and chairman of the Task Force on Review of Hong Kong School Curriculum. Congratulations. Next, I'm delighted to present the award to Mr. Yim Kwong Chan, 1966 BSc General graduate. Mr. Chan is a senior consultant of AXA China Regional Insurance Company Limited, the founding chairman of Hong Kong Life Underwriters Association, and recipient of the first Industry Achievement Award. Let's invite Mr. Chan to say a few words.
It's my great honor to receive this award because of my insurance profession. Let me say a few words about it. I have proactively contributed to the growth of insurance from a small beginning to a giant industry, now collecting yearly premium as much as the Hong Kong government's revenue and employing over 135,000 people. As an advisor, I could testify to the evolution and development of the Hong Kong insurance regulators, now ranked among the best in the world. Insurance became a functional constituency in the 1990s, and so was the setup of MPF. I was fortunate to have played pivotal roles for birthing them. None of these achievements would have been possible without the quality and enlightening education I had received at the Hong Kong U and the valuable connections made. I had been asked about the secret of success of insurance. I consider it to be the ability to master 3 languages: the language of the math of mathematics, the language of man, and the language of God. Life is in fact full of amazements too. 10 years ago, I had the opportunity to serve my alma mater in a unique way. As an advisor again, I helped Hong Kong U set up the Faith and Global Engagement Initiative, now known as the FGE program. Lastly, for university students who may be watching, treasure the education you are receiving. Whatever your study and talent is, be equipped to bring flourishing communities. Despite changes, disruptions, and even chaos, always keep faith, hope, and love. May God bless you all.
Congratulations, Mr. Chan. Let's record this significant moment of you with your award. Give us a smile so we can make a screenshot for you. Thank you, Mr. Chan. And then we have Mr. Peter Wing Leung Lai, 1980 BSc graduate. Mr. Lai is a financial commentator. He is also the fellow of Hong Kong Securities and Investment Institute. Today happens to be Mr. Lai's birthday, so double happiness. Congratulations and happy birthday, Mr. Lai.
Thank you.
Let's invite Mr. Lai to say a few words.
Respectable Professor Evans, distinguished alumni, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my great honor to be here today. As just mentioned, it is special to me because coincidentally, it is my birthday, 36, and no, 63 now. I can still remember 4 decades ago when I just graduated, I was well equipped from what I learned in HKU Science faculty. The professional guidance and expert knowledge of all professors did enlighten my mind in a wide spectrum. Knowing how to apply scientific analysis in our daily life has been being beneficial to me in all aspects in the past 4 decades. The practical as well as practicable approaches has been useful to me in serving our communities more effectively, as well as working for the betterment of our societies. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to all professors, teachers, and staff of my alma mater, science faculty. I do believe science faculty, as usual, will continue to nurture graduates for the betterment of our planet Earth. Wish all of us every success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lai. Please show us your award so that we can make a screenshot for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next award goes to Professor Paul Kwon-Sing Lam, 1982 BSc and 1984 MPhil graduate. Professor Lam is currently the Executive Director of Special Projects of City University of Hong Kong. He is also the designated president of Open University of Hong Kong. Professor Lam, congratulations on your recent accomplishments. And now we have Miss Oi Lin Li, 1970 BSc Hons graduate. Ms. Li is the former Deputy Executive Director of the Vocational Training Council and the founding member and past chairman of the Hong Kong University Graduates Association Education Fund. Ms. Li, please share with us your thoughts on receiving this award.
Professor Evans, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. It is my great honor and privilege to receive this award from my alma mater and the faculty where I graduated. Looking back, it was a blessing to me to have received science education at Hong Kong U. The knowledge acquired, the inbuilt analytical attitude, and the firm belief in evidence and data has empowered me to brave challenges and to solve problems with confidence for a lifetime. My last profession is in the vocational education. It has been more than 20 years. And I started modestly as a lecturer, senior lecturer. And later on, I was posted to various disciplines, especially the design discipline, where I can successfully apply the scientific methodology to help them to redefine their goals and visions. So this is one of the projects which I'm very proud of. And also, vocational education now becomes a very valued choice for many of our youngsters. And this paradigm shift, I have made a contribution to it, which I'm very proud of. Now, I would like to thank Dr. Patrick Boon for his support and nominated me to this award. And also, I would like to dedicate this award to all those who have contributed and crossed my path to a different stage of my career. and offer me the guidance, support, and friendships, which I valued most. And I would like to also thank the chairman and the members of the organizing committee and the faculty staff for their unfailing effort to make this virtual ceremony a reality. It is such an exceptional experience for me. For 80 glorious years, the faculty has a rich legacy of brilliant achievements. I wish the faculty to continue with the success and flourish from strength to strength as one of the world's premier science faculties. Thank you very much, and I wish everyone good health and good luck.
Congratulations, Ms. Li. Now let's take a photo.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
Thank you. Next, we have Professor Alexander Ping Kong Wai, 1981 BSc graduate. Professor Wai is the designated president and vice chancellor of Hong Kong Baptist University and the deputy president and provost of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Professor Wai, would you say a few words for us?
Thank you. Dean Evans, distinguished guests, family and friends, it's my great honor to receive this Distinguished Alumni Award. I would like to thank my alma mater, the University of Hong Kong, and Dean Evans for this honor. I sincerely thank Professor Chester Xu, who nominated me for the award, and I would like to thank my parents, my wife, and my son for their continuous support. I also like to congratulate the other award winners today. This award brought back many favorable memories of my days in the University of Hong Kong. It was amazing that it's already 42 years ago that I was admitted to the University of Hong Kong. In Hong Kong U, I was determined not to be a bookworm and have a full university experience. I joined the Chinese martial art clubs and the fencing club and have begun a lifelong practice of martial arts that I continue to date. I also joined the current affairs study group of Faculty of Science to expand my horizon beyond study and examinations. It is a physically and intellectually challenging 3 years. Academically, I regrettably had to give up chemistry, my favorite subject in secondary school. After my first year in Hong Kong U, as I developed serious headache due to allergy after every chemistry laboratory sessions. This led me down a path of physics and a detour of 15 years of study and work in the United States before returning to Hong Kong. Looking back, the formative years in Hong Kong U defined who I am today, and I learned the importance of perseverance. I remember that while I was rushing to finish my final year project in the last year of my study, the computer of Computer Center of Hong Kong U, a meekly PDP-11, broke down because of heavy usage. I ended up sitting in the living room of the rented flat for 3 days and nights to invert a 34 by 34 matrix by hand in order to finish my final year project report. It was one of the many, many crazy things I did in Pok Fu Lam. This year, my son embarks on his university education. I hope he will have as an enriching experience in university I had in Hong Kong U. As an educator myself, I fully appreciate what Albert Einstein said about education. Coding. Education is what remains after one has forgotten one has learned in school, and the code. I'm deeply indebted to the Department of Physics, Faculty of Science, and University of Hong Kong to teach me more than the knowledge in the books and make me who I am today. But to reassure my physics professors in Hong Kong U, I had not forgotten what I learned in my physics classes there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Wai. We are all very proud of your achievements. Now, shall we take a photo for you? Thanks a lot. It's nice to talk to another fellow martial artist. Another awardee of this category is Mr. Chi Kun Yip, 1981 BSc graduate. Mr. Yip is the advisor of the H2O Hope Center of the Water Supplies Department and a former member of the International Program Committee of the Science Center World Summit. Let's invite Mr. Yip to say a few words.
Professor Evans, distinguished alumni, ladies and gentlemen, thank the faculty in selecting me as a recipient of the honor. Today just happened to be the 40th anniversary of the opening of the Hong Kong Space Museum where I started my work. I do and I understand it's used by many science centers to highlight that visitors can understand our physical world better through hands-on exhibits. Science Center and STEM-related exhibition centers are places where public can enjoy science, technology, engineering, and mathematics through hands-on and interactive exhibits. The world of Science Center is growing rapidly. There are now more than 30 in Hong Kong and over 10,000 globally. This is a link to the success and relevance in attracting interest of the public, especially the younger generation. Many current scientific issues are complicated, such as climate change and sustainability. This requires effective way to convey the message to the public and hopefully turning that into actions. I do and I understand it's also applicable to my knowledge of the Science Center field that I learned a lot since joining. I've been working with architects to set up science centers. I have to learn the language, understand the limitations, and work creatively with unconventional structural form. I've been working with the state-of-the-art of entertainment and presentation technology. I need to learn to use them properly, know their technological and financial constraints to create productions that attract interest. I've been working with engineers to make exhibits durable, safe, as well as fun. I've been working with educators on how Science Center can complement formal education, as well as be places for dedicated kids. I've been working with Science Center leaders in the world on how the industry can join together globally to create greater goods. The list can go on. I believe the world needs more scientists to assist that. We need more people interested in science. We need to make science interesting and understand the process of making things interesting. Personally, what I have achieved is minimal compared to other distinguished alumni in the list today. I will dedicate and set this honor to all those working in the Science Center field. I encourage more science graduates to join the field as well. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Yip. Let's record this significant moment of you with your award. So give us a smile so we can make a screenshot. Thank you, Mr. Yip. Next, we are going to honor another group of awardees who have been striving for excellence in scientific research and science education. The first honor goes to Professor Shuk Mei Ho, 1974 BSc and 1977 PhD graduate. Professor Ho is the Vice Chancellor and Professor of Pharmacology and Toxicology for Research of the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences in Arkansas, USA. Let's invite Professor Ho to say a few words.
Thank you very much. So, from an acorn to an oak tree, Dean Evans, distinguished guests, faculty, students, and staff of the university. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to accept this honor. First, I must thank Professor Anderson Wong for his nomination and the review committee for its recommendation. May I have my slide? Oak trees are beautiful and strong, drought tolerant, and support many wildlife and human activities. But what is the chance that an acorn left uneaten grow into an oak tree? Like an acorn, I was born into a very humble family. Thanks to my parents who had the foresight of recognizing the benefit of a college degree, I was the lucky 1% high school student admitted to the top university in Hong Kong in 1971. University life is like fertile soil to a seed. I quickly set roots and absorbed fresh knowledge and new perspectives. I also had the luxury to travel in Europe and Asia, expanded my world beyond 427 square miles. My roots grew deeper and stronger as Professor Daniel Chen took me in as the doctoral student in the Department of Zoology. He was truly an inspiration and a great role model. He was always positive, confident in himself, and highly ambitious. He challenged me not only work hard, but also work smart. As I was writing my thesis, Dr. Chen told me, there won't be a faculty position for you in Hong Kong. I asked, why? He answered, because you're a woman. It was a tough and scary reality to accept. In the next 40 years, I had many more hurdles in my career. These challenges left dense growth rings in my core. I grew branches and leaves, trained close to 100 accomplished trainees, and built many successful programs, leaving a mark in the field of epigenetic reprogramming during early life development, and help remove the toxic chemical bisphenol A from plasticware around the world. Today, I believe I have borne many acorns that one day will replete the life cycle of the oak tree. Thank you so much for your attention and for your generosity.
Thank you, Professor Ho, for sharing with us. We're very glad that you could obviously join us today from the US. Congratulations again. Next, we have Professor Zhe-Lin Li, 1967 BA graduate in mathematics. Professor Li is Rai Lyman Wilbur Professor of Statistics and the Director of Financial and Risk Modeling Institute of Stanford University, USA. Let's hear Professor Li's thoughts on receiving his award.
So it is my great pleasure and honor to be selected as a distinguished alumnus of the University of Hong Kong in the Oak anniversary of the science faculty. I'm particularly pleased to see my good friend, Manken Silmanker, who was in my cohort at Hong Kong U and later at Columbia, also sharing this honor. Other honorees whom I know well include Yam Tong Siu Yam Tong, who graduated before I came to Hong Kong U in 1964, and whom I first met at Stanford in 1979, during the year I visited from Columbia. And Jasper Chang, Zheng Yuxing, who graduated a year after me and was in my class in 1967 to 68, when I was demonstrator of mathematics before leaving Hong Kong to study for my PhD at Columbia. We are currently having shelter in place at Stanford, where I'm teaching and coordinating meetings online from my home office. Because of the 15-hour time zone difference and the possibility of power outages due to California wildfires, I've asked my good friend Philip Yam, Yam Song-Ji, President of Hong Kong, and an alumnus of Hong Kong U and Oxford University, to help me through a Zoom meeting as my guest for this occasion. Through the conversation with Philip about our experiences at Hong Kong U, which later shaped our careers in the mathematical sciences, I express my deep gratitude to my alma mater for paving the way for a 52-year career in research and education that is still ongoing despite despite having celebrated my 75th birthday 3 months ago.
Congratulations, Professor Lai. And then we have Professor Frederick Kuhn-Shing Leung, 1977 BSc graduate.
Professor Leung is the Chair Professor and Kintoi Professor in Mathematics Education at HKU. He is also the Dean of the Graduate School, serving all of our faculty graduate students. Let's invite Professor Leung to say a few words.
Dean Evans, ladies and gentlemen, I'm deeply honored to be conferred this Hong Kong U Distinguished Alumni Award. I've always a strong sense of being an alumnus of Hong Kong U, of the Faculty of Science and of the Mathematics Department. Actually, ever since I started my study at the Faculty of Science many years ago, I have never left Hong Kong U. 1 year after my graduation, I came back to take a certificate in education course. And then shortly after, I took up a team consultant position at the Faculty of Education, and then I've been here since then. So I've never left. The information that you provide mentioned my research in mathematics education. Actually, in order to excel in mathematics education, we need a solid foundation in mathematics. As the saying goes, if education is the wings, then mathematics is the root of mathematics education. So I'm so glad that during my undergraduate days, I had a very strong foundation of mathematics through the courses that I took from the distinguished professors that I learned from. Of course, my days at Hong Kong U Faculty of Science was not just about studying or doing mathematics. I also had very good time with my classmates. In those days, the mathematics department is on the second floor of Nose Building, and the back door leads to the Lily Point. It's not the Lily Point of today. It's a big piece of grassland. And my classmate and I spent many afternoons there, chatting, talking about life. Of course, we sometimes talk about mathematics, but usually chat, and we had a good time. And since then, we've been lifetime friends. I'm still in contact with many of them. So, Faculty of Science, the math department leaves very fond memories in me. So I'm so glad that today I am conferred this Distinguished Alumni Award. I wish the faculty every success in the years to come, and I thank my nominator and all those who support me in this award. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Sounds like time well spent next to that pond. So let's record this happy moment. Professor Leung, please get ready for the screenshot. If you can move it back slightly and lift your award up. Yep, that will be great. Yep. Congratulations and thank you, Professor Leung.
Thank you.
And now we have Professor Kam Bio Look, 1976 BSc graduate. Professor Look is a professor of the University of California, Berkeley, and a senior faculty science of the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. May I invite Professor Look to say a few words and to share his joy with us.
Good morning, Professor Evans, and to those of you who are in Hong Kong, and also good evening to those of you who live in America. First of all, I would like to convey my deep gratitude to Professor Evans and also the Faculty of Science, as well as the judge panel for granting me this Distinguished Alumni Award. It is certainly a great honor to me. I also would like to thank my year 1976 classmates for the nomination, especially Professor Nancy Look for putting the case together. Knowing how busy she is, I truly appreciate her great effort. This belated occasion certainly has brought back some fond memories of my student life spent in the physics department during the 70s. It was through the learning of quantum chemistry that I realized physics would help me better in understanding the physical world around us. It was through the selection of a totally unfamiliar physics topic called tachyon for a term paper that inspired me to explore nature through particle physics, which is my research area now. Without a doubt, my former undergraduate advisor and now a friend, Professor Calvin McEwen, he played a very crucial role in launching me into research. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude to him and to other faculty members for shaping my career that I truly cherish. Last but not least, I would like to congratulate the Faculty of Science on making tremendous progress in advancing research and teaching in the past 80 years. Thank you for hosting this memorable event. I also want to thank my family members for attending this wonderful gathering. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Photo time now. So please get ready for the screenshot. Thanks and congratulations, Professor Look. Professor Man Kong Seo, 1967 BSc Special Graduate. So Professor Seo is a retired professor of HKU's Department of Mathematics. Let's hear what Professor Seo has to say in receiving this award and reflecting on his time at HKU.
First of all, I'd like to express deep gratitude to the Faculty of Science for her nurturing in scientific thinking and for making me a mathematician and teacher. Teaching is to tell a story, a good story which arouses curiosity and excites imagination, a story about the long quest by the human mind for an understanding of the world around us in all respects. Teach the subject in order to nurture people, and nurture people through teaching the subject. 為教人而教書，由教書而教人。One who is not tired of learning is not tired of teaching. There is no end to learning, as there is no end to teaching. 學而不厭，方能教而不倦。學無止境，教無止境。
Congratulations, Professor Seo. And many thanks for your inspiration. You have nurtured generations of mathematicians and teachers all these years. I'm sure they are very happy for you. Professor Young Tong Seo, 1963, BA graduate in mathematics. Professor Seo is the William Elwood Bailey Professor of Mathematics of Harvard University and a member of the National Academy of Sciences. Let's hear what Professor Seo would like to say.
I feel very honored and touched by this Distinguished Science Alumni Award. I studied in the BA program in the math department and had a lot of interaction with the students of the math physics stream in the Faculty of Science as well. The math department was very small. Teaching staff and students were close and cordial, like a family. Looking back 60 years later, I see the great impact of Hong Kong U on my life, academically and socially. Hong Kong U gave me a very good introduction to the subject I studied. Far more important is the inspiration, motivation, and the means I learned how to acquire knowledge. In my days, Hong Kong U was basically a teaching university. Though the math faculty members were isolated from major world centers of research, I was very impressed how they pursued their own research under adverse circumstances, while dedicating themselves to improving the teaching and learning environment. What drove their research was intellectual curiosity and not the promise of a rich final reward. In that regard, they serve as my role models. No matter what cards you are dealt, the important thing is how you play your hand, to know what can be achieved and what to dismiss as unachievable. For everything, there is a season. It is so with the different stages of one's life. Undergraduate years are the season for exploring all ideas, scientific, social, philosophical. For me, the course load in Hong Kong U was light, without academic pressure. I stayed in St. John's College for all 3 years, which was, to me, an oasis within overcrowded Hong Kong. The conducive physical and intellectual environment for nourishment of the mind gave me a great deal of free time to think. Studying in Hong Kong U has impacted greatly my personal life as well. I came to know my wife through a Christian fellowship in Hong Kong U. When spouses are counted, 10 members of her family are Hong Kong U alumni. I made many lifelong friends in and out of the Faculty of Science. This ceremony gives me yet another opportunity to express my gratitude to Hong Kong U, pay tribute to my teachers, and refresh my fond memory of my student days. Thank you.
Congratulations, Professor Seal. Let's take a picture of you with your award. That's right. Keep smiling. Wonderful. Thank you, Professor Seal. And now we are going to honor our alumni who have made tremendous contributions to community services and to society, or are proactive in university and faculty development. May I present the following distinguished alumni to you. Professor Kwong Ming Chan, our BSc graduate in 1959, receives this award for his dedicated services in connecting overseas alumni and the university. Professor Chan is the Professor Emeritus of California State University and the Director of Hong Kong University Alumni Association, Southern California, USA. Although Professor Chan has left HKU for more than half a century, his heart is never far from us. As he always says, he will never forget the encouragement and guidance from his teachers here. Congratulations, Professor Chan. It is also our great pleasure to witness our former Dean, Professor Kin Fai Zhang, being awarded as a Science Distinguished Alumnus. Professor Zhang, BSc Special Graduate in 1965, is the Emeritus College Principal of HKU Space Community College, and also former Professor of Chemistry at HKU. During his deanship at HKU Science, the faculty underwent major developments. So congratulations, Professor Zhang. We would also like to honor our distinguished alumni who have been dedicated in serving the community. The first one is Dr. Boon Ying Li, who received a special BSc graduate in 1973 and a PhD in 1979. Dr. Li is the former director of the Hong Kong Observatory and a member of meteorological societies in Hong Kong, mainland China, and the United Kingdom. Let's hear what Dr. Li has to say about his award.
Hello.
Hello.
Morning. I'm B.Y. Li, and I'm in my daughter's place right now. As you see, the grandkids are doing online learning and Zoom meeting and whatnot. We have 3 grandchildren and 2 dogs here, so it's a bit of a chaos and commotion. Thank you. Daniel. And I retired from service at the Hong Kong Observatory 10 years ago. And you know what the observatory is doing is it's about weather forecasting. It's about, for me, it's about more about developing of web services and monitoring of radiation fallouts. And that spent a long time, starting from Chernobyl to Fukushima when I retired. So it's about really about Hong Kong U as a milestone for me in learning all this. You organize yourself in a systematic manner, because learning is really about not getting the knowledge, but developing system where you can apply what you know to your career, to your work, to your life. And it's also about curiosity, where you keep looking at things and find out why they're so interesting. So what am I doing now? I'm still writing blogs, a couple of blogs a month on everything ranging from science, music, literature, history, and whatnot. And I'm doing art as well. Just finished a degree with the Hong Kong Art School. I'm trying to combine science and art. And I hope to be able to take part in a couple of art exhibitions this year, and talk on the radio about science, about climate change. And I from time to time I go back to the mainland to help students with their studies, and also sponsor some of their expenses. So really, I would like to thank you all for Professor Evans and everybody for the award that's given me. That's a great honor, and I hope the lockdown will be over soon and things will go back to normal. Thanks again.
Congratulations, Dr. Li. And it's great to hear about your obviously continuing education and your venture into art. It's very interesting. Our next awardee is Mr. Nicky Ka Chung Lo, SBS JP 1973 BSc graduate. Mr. Lo is a member of the Hong Kong Exchange Fund Advisory Committee, Hong Kong Monetary Authority, and a non-executive director of the Securities and Futures Commission. May I invite Mr. Lo to say a few words.
Dean Evans, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to receive this Hong Kong U Science Distinguished Alumni Award. I'm proud to be among so many outstanding awardees with excellent achievement in various professions, and who have made tremendous contribution to the society at large. This, I believe, is testimony of the success of the Hong Kong U Science faculty in educating future leaders for all community sectors in Hong Kong. As for myself, I have pursued a career in government service and later in private enterprise. I found my science education extremely relevant, despite the fact that I never used the science subjects I learned directly in my work as such. My science education did train me to remain objective in making analysis at all times, and always use logical thinking to arrive at any decision at work. This approach has proven to be most beneficial for me to deal with the many challenges I need to face at various stages of my career. No matter whether I was formulating trade policy as the Deputy Secretary for Trade and Industry, or leading a multi-billion IT company as its President and CEO. I wish to thank Alma Mater for giving me the opportunity of a science education some 50 years ago. It was a big treat for me as a young fellow then, with so much passion for science subjects at the time. But little did I know then that I will go on to benefit from this education so tremendously for the rest of my life. Thank you, science faculty. I wish the faculty continued success in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Low, and once again, congratulations. It's great to hear how you use the scientific method in your career. Let's take a quick photo with you in your.
Okay, I'd like my wife to join me.
Sure, absolutely, it'd be wonderful. Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
just hold on a sec. We'll just hold your smile. We'll get a photo for you. Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Low.
Thank you. Thank you.
Last but not least, may I present to you Mr. Jasper Yoksing Zhang, GBM, GBS, JP, 1968 BA graduate in mathematics. Mrs. Zhang is the former president of the Legislative Council, member of court of the University of Hong Kong, and vice chairman of the Hong Kong Policy Research Institute. Let's invite Mrs. Zhang to say a few words.
Professor Evans, fellow alumni, ladies and gentlemen, it's a big surprise for me to be included in the list of Distinguished Science Alumni of the University of Hong Kong. I spent half of my working life teaching, the other half in politics. And when I taught very little science. As for politics, I don't think anybody would believe that it has got anything to do with science. However, I am here. I have the honor of being together with other distinguished science alumni of the university. Like Professor Xiu Yang-tong, I graduated from the university with a BA degree because I took 9 papers in mathematics. But I always regarded myself as a bona fide science student in the university. I was an active member of the Science Society of the Hong Kong USU. I think Ms. Lei Moylin can testify to that. I took part in many activities of the society. I was an editor of Pulse, the society's publication, and I collaborated with many other science students to prepare and run a science exhibition that went on for quite a few days. It is from these activities that I acquired the knowledge, the skills, experience, which proved to be very useful throughout my adult life, especially in my community service. Whenever I catch myself doing something illogical, unscientific, I remind myself of my science education in the Hong Kong University. So it is very gratifying indeed that although I don't hold a science degree, 50 years after I left the university, I'm now recognized as a science alumnus of Hong Kong U, be that distinguished or not. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Zhang. I think we were saying before how you correct yourself when you're being non-scientific. I think that's proof enough to us that you definitely have science in your everyday life and a valued member of our family. So let's take a picture of you with you in your award. If you can if you can tilt your award a little bit towards the screen, that would be great. Yeah, perfect. Just to get the glare away. Okay, just hold. Perfect. Thank you and congratulations. What a memorable moment. May I invite Dean Evans to propose a toast.
Yes, okay, thank you very much. It's been deeply inspiring to hear all of these stories, varied stories from our distinguished alumni. So here's to everyone and to the Faculty of Science. Thank you all very much.
To the faculty. Cheers.
Cheers.
Please hold the pose for a second so our colleagues can capture the moment. And if you put your glass kind of in front of your image, it'll be particularly good. Wonderful. Thank you all. We would now like to take another group photo for the distinguished alumni. So how about giving a thumbs up to science? So please have your award and your photo prop with you if you have them. To just give you a few moments to prepare that. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Great, perfect. Thank you all again. We have reached the end of our virtual honoring session. Thanks again, Professor Evans, our distinguished guests and friends. Let us all look forward to a bright future for the faculty and stay connected. Have a good day.